Hello everyone, my name is Arta and in this video presentation I'm going to show you some of my data analysis. Um, the first one is tree map. This tree map, as you can see, I compared different candidates in terms of the money they spend for the election in 2016, 4 years ago. As you can see, Bernard Sanders spent around $166 million for election, and Hillary spent more around 155 $56 million for the election, and Donald Trump, who won the election, he spent more than $49 million. Also, in the next tree map, you can see, for example, I kind of compared. Uh, I chose top 30 states in the United States, and I kind of compared the money that mm, each candidate spent on advertisements for the election. As you can see, for example, Sanders spent more than $66 million in Virginia, and Trump spent around $18 million in Virginia. And you can see, for example, other states like DC, New York City, Ohio, New Jersey, Florida, and other states. I chose top 30 states, and also, as you can see, for example, different people who spend money, different candidates who spend money for the election. Also, the next tree map, as you can see, it shows the money that each candidate spent on different states. So, for example, for Sanders, his priority was spending money in Virginia. So he spent more than $66 million in Virginia, and I think the less the less he also spent around $3,000 in South Dakota. Um, as you know, South Dakota is Republican state, so maybe he didn't want to spend money in Republican state. That's why he spent just, I mean, more than $2,500 in South Dakota. And as you can see, he spent more than $66 million in Virginia. So it shows kind of the priority in terms of spending money in each state. For example, for Clinton, um, it was different for Clinton. She spent more money in DC, and for Trump, he also spent around $18 million in Virginia, and I don't know, DE stands for which state. Uh, so it seems that he spent, oh, Oregon. I see Oregon. He spent or Indiana, I think. He spent this money like $1,500 in Indiana, I think. And you can kind of compare different candidates in terms of the money spent in different states, and it's interesting. Also, in this tree map, we compare the money that each candidate spent in different things. For example, you can see Clinton spent more than $24 million in payroll, and she also spent around $9 million for travel. And you can see, for example, Trump spent more than $17 million for place media, and top two candidates which spend more money than the other candidates, mm, like Sanders and Clinton. They spend $64 million and $51 million respectively for media buy. Also, you can see, for example, in this tree map, we kind of show the uh, we showed the candidate we showed candidates who spend different money in each city in the United States. For example, I chose top 30 cities in the US. So as we can see, there are just 30 cities, and for example, as you can see, Hillary Clinton spent around $63 million in Washington. And for example, you can see, for example, Trump spent more than $17 million in Arlington. Also, I kind of made I created a heat map. As you can see, it's from um, 2014, November 2014 to March 2016. I should remove these two columns because I think these data are not correct. I mean, because I used the data from a website, so I think these data are not correct. Maybe they are typos, so we ignore them. So we just consider 2014, November 2014 to um, March 2016. As you can see, for example, the days are shown here. So you can easily, with just with a glance, you can see how much money candidates spend on each day. For example, in 2016 March. For example, you can see in January 4th, 2016, they spent the most money, which is more than $20 million. So it really helps for comparing the numbers. Um, and yeah, thank you so much for your attention.